Lecture on Motion Class 9 by ACE Part 3.
Hello students, today we are going to follow up our previous lectures, and to compile all those things we have to take help of a questionnaire which is coming from one of you. The first question which is given over here is, can displacement be zero even when distance is not zero? Let us see the distance and the displacement. Distance this is total path between 2 points. I say initial and final. Points. Now, let me say somebody is standing at A and going up to a point B, and then moving from B coming back to a point, let us say this point is C. So the total path which is covered by this person is total path. That is AB plus BC. So if you take AB, the distance between A and B, let me say it is, I should say something, let us say 250 meters, and then from B to C, let me say it is 100 meters. So the total distance or the total path over here is 250 plus 100. That comes to be 350 meters. So 350 meters is the distance here. But if you see the distance between the initial and the final point, that is A and C, this is this one here. So displacement, what is displacement? Shortest distance between initial and final points. Let us see how much is this distance. Here, distance between A and B, it is 100 meters, and then from B to C it is, between A and B it is 250 meters, and between B and C it is 100 meters. So if you calculate, then AC, which is the shortest distance between the initial and the final points, is AB minus BC. That is 250 minus 150, and that comes to be, no, it is 100. BC is given 100. So it is 150 meters. So the displacement here is 150 and the total distance is 350. Now question comes, can a displacement be zero? Yes, displacement can be zero. Let us take that particular case. Let me say the person is moving from A to B and coming back to A. Means this person is moving back and coming over to this original place. So the displacement is the distance, shortest distance between final and initial points. And final initial point is the same, so that distance is zero. So we can say displacement can be zero. Now, can distance be zero? No, distance cannot be zero. For the distance, initial and final points, must not be the same. It means what? the distance is always a positive value, while the displacement can be zero. The question comes, can the displacement be negative? Yes. Yes, displacement can be negative also. Let me tell you how it is. Now, A, B, person is starting from A and reaching B. Just see carefully, I am measuring all the distances from A to B. Means direction of measuring the distances from A to B. Now, the person is starting from here and moving back to A and then going to this point. Let us see. Now, the distance between this one, A and C, is here. I am measuring all the distance to this side. If I am taking distance to one side positive, in opposite side it will be negative. So here, now AC will be equal to what? BC minus AB. BC minus AB. I told you the distance which is going this side is all positive and this side it is coming negative. It means when I take the distance from B to C, then it is negative, and this is over here. This distance I have to take positive, so I'll be getting a negative answer. It means what? The displacement can be zero as well as negative. I hope it is clear to you. Is it clear to you? Clear? Yes, okay, good. Now, so this was the answer to the first question. Let us see the second question now. The second question is, can the distance traveled by the object be smaller than the magnitude of its displacement? Let us see this part also. Here it is A, again I am taking the same example, here it is B. It comes to C. So the distance is what? AB plus BC. While the displacement is what? Is AC. And we have seen AC is smaller than A plus B plus B plus C. This part is okay. Now let us see the other example here itself. Let me say that the person is moving from A to B and is stopping there itself. The whole distance is covered in one direction. So distance is what? AB, and displacement is what? Again AB. So this maximum displacement can be equal to the distance, but displacement can never ever be more than the distance itself. So I say displacement is less than and equal to. This is the sign for less than and equal to distance. So this you have to bear in mind. This is the answer to the second question. So the magnitude of displacement is always less than distance or equal to distance. It cannot be other way around. I hope answer to this question is clear to everybody. We are going to the next question. Next question, which is coming from another student, that it says, a particle is moving with uniform velocity. What is its acceleration? Now, velocity, acceleration. Velocity is uniform. First of all, what is velocity? Velocity is the rate of change of displacement. Now, here I write V is equal to d over t, where d is the displacement over here. Acceleration is the rate of change of velocity. means A is equal to, let me say the object is having final velocity V and initial velocity U, and this is the change in velocity divided by time taken for achieving velocity from U to V. So this is the acceleration. But it says what? It says that uniform velocity. When the velocity is uniform, V is equal to U. Both are equal, then what will be A in this case? A will be equal to V minus U divided by T. Let me say it is equal to X. So I can write A is equal to X minus X over T. And that is equal to 0. It means what? If some object is moving with a constant velocity, then its acceleration is 0. It has no acceleration as such. I hope this part is clear to you. We take the next question. And how can you get the speed of an object from distance time graph? What is distance time graph? Let me say here the time again 5, 10, 15, and here is the distance. Let me say 20, 40, 60. This is the distance or displacement and it is time. And I take this graph as such. So this is the graph between distance and time, or we call it distance time graph. So what is velocity? Velocity is equal to displacement over time. In case of speed, we take a distance, and in case of velocity, we take care of the displacement. So V is equal to the displacement over time. So if I see the graphs over here, let me say here it is. So here V is the distance. When the time is 5, the distance is 20 meter. Here I say second. So the V will be equal to 4 meter per second. Again, we take another example, or here itself from the graph itself, we can say V is equal to, here from y-axis 40 and from x-axis 10, they are meeting over here. So this has x value 10 and y value 40. So here you will be writing 40 meter, the distance in this one, and it comes to be how much? 10 seconds. So that comes 4 meters. The same way you can take it for 60, and if you see the velocity is constant, this is the graph we are getting. For the constant velocity or unchanged velocity or uniform velocity, the graph comes to be a straight line. I hope this is clear. This is how we can calculate the velocity of a moving object at any point. For that example, let me say I extend this one up to B. If I want to calculate what is the velocity at this point, so what do? I put a perpendicular on axis from here and a perpendicular on y-axis here. So wherever they are meeting, just take that value and take the value over here. Substitute the value, you will get the velocity at that particular point. I hope this is very clear to you. We'll take the other example now, or other question. Let us take next question. It says, how can we get distance of an object from speed time graph? So here the same thing. Take this is t and this is v. This time it is v, velocity or the speed. How we can take this one? How the distance can be there? So what is distance? What is distance? distance, or say S, is equal to velocity into time, V into T. Let us see this thing. T is here, a perpendicular from here, and V is here. If you see these things carefully, this is O, let me say it is A, this is B, and this is C. So it is the graph which is there when the body is moving with the velocity v and time t. And if you see this carefully, this A, B, C, O is what? It is a rectangle. So, area of ABCD is what? Base into height. And what is the base? OA. And O is nothing but T. This is T. And what is OC? OC, let me write first. This is OA into OC. So O is what? O is T in this case, time, and OC is what? V. And if you see V and T, what is that? This is the, what you call the distance. So with the help of this graph, we can find out, or we can calculate the distance covered by a moving object in given time with the velocity v. So, coming to the conclusion, the bottom line is the distance covered by an object we can calculate with the help of a graph, and that is equal to the area of rectangle it is forming over here. So, this is how we can calculate the distance covered by a object. Next question is coming. A brick and an elephant are in free fall. What is common in their motion? This is a wonderful question. Just see this one. Motion is off here. Depending on the direction of motion, we can have vertical, means it can be up and down, and it can be horizontal. This can be from this point, let us say right to left, any side. Now, it says what? It says some elephant and a brick. Both are freely falling downwards. Falling. What will be the same? Here, to discuss this one, I have to write few equations. So, you know this one, V is equal to U plus ET. I explained in the previous lecture. S is equal to UT plus half AT square. And 2AS is equal to V square minus U square. These are three equations describing the law of motion. Here. What is this A? A is the acceleration when the movement of the object is horizontal. But when it is vertical, we are working with the help of what you call acceleration due to gravity. Acceleration due to gravity over here. So if I substitute these values, I get V is equal to U plus GT and S is equal to UT plus half GT square, and then I write 2GS is equal to V square minus U square. So both the objects are falling under the gravity, so the value of G will be same for both. G will be same for both brick and the elephant. I hope it is clear to you. The G will be the same for both the cases. The next question we have is when an object is thrown vertically upward, what is its velocity at the highest point? Let us say this also. This is the ground, and this boy is throwing a ball upward. It will go up to certain height and then stop. So it has certain initial velocity, and since it is stopping at the top, the velocity will become what? 0. So the initial velocity has u, and final velocity it will be 0. Can velocity and acceleration at a point is opposite direction? Can velocity and this one will be in opposite direction? For that we have to see something. Let us see. What is v? V is equal to u plus at. Let us see, can these things will be opposite to each other? What is velocity? Velocity is the displacement in a particular direction. Let us see here. Let me say u is negative, or let me say both are positive and here it is negative. So I say A is equal to, let us say, minus 5 meter per second square, and T I take, let us say, how much? 10 seconds or 20 seconds. Let us take u, initial velocity is, let me say, 200 meter per second. Let us substitute the value and see what we are getting. V will be equal to 200 meter per second plus value of A is minus 5 meter per second, and T is given to us 20 seconds. So here you see the V will be 200 meter per second. This minus sign is coming 100. Second will be cancelled. You will be getting meter per second over here. So V will be equal to 100 meter per second. So you have seen yourself, when the acceleration is negative, velocity can be positive. But the case should be of this kind. I hope it is clear.
Feel free to ask questions through comments. We shall reply to all your queries.